It's the 21st century. Choice has never been easier. Millions of products at the click of a button. AI robots that write and design everything for you.
Kind of hard to believe, isn't it?
We all know that Amazon facilitates the sale of a lot of rubbish. There's been a flood of online dropshipping, as well as fake versions of products that don't function very well.
These are garbage.
But recently I came face to face with a scam I hadn't seen before. This is a scam, if I'm even allowed to call it that seems to bring up a whole new range of ethical and moral dilemmas. Critical coverage of it so far has been fairly minimal, and it's a scam that seems to be seeping its way into the very foundations of Amazon and consumer trust. So today I'm going to be talking to you about Kindle Direct Publishing, AI technology, and how you too can be scammed by AI-generated books.
Amazon is fighting a bit of an invasion from books written by artificial intelligence.
ChatGPT.
Can you give me the titles of 10 chapters that will be in this book?
In this video, I'll give you a complete guide to using ChatGPT for Amazon KDP.
KDP stands for Kindle Direct Publishing, which allows people to self-publish on Amazon and sell their books, whether in print or for Kindle. Now, according to my research, there's two main types of content that people might choose to make. There's low content, which refers to things like notebooks, planners, diaries that might be blank, or there's high content books, things with a lot of text in, like novels or recipe books. Now, I'm not out here trying to slam people who are self-publishing their own work. I know how brutal the publishing industry is, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with self-publishing your work. Future Hollywood blockbuster The Martian was self-published by Andy Weir, actually via KDP.
Amazon has this whole self-publishing system called KDP, which stands for Kindle Direct Publishing. There's no initial cost or financial risk, which is what I liked about it.
What I am taking aim at in this video is a kind of literary shovelware. The term shovelware is usually used in the context of video games. From its roots in the 1990s, where you'd often get cheap games and content lumped onto a disc, to now, where you have cheap games often made of pre-existing assets, whether it's movie tie-ins or for sale on the Nintendo shop or Steam, or sold in bundles. Shovelware isn't concerned with quality. What it is concerned about is making a quick buck. Literary shovelware is not a new concept. It predates ChatGPT. I'm not saying anything about the quality of work, but remember how big vampire fiction was when Twilight was huge. And of course it's very common that we see writers hired to pen companion pieces to popular video games and movies.
Time for a new range of novels featuring the Eighth Doctor, encountering many foes and friends.
But what happens when we remove the writer entirely? Okay, first things first, I love ramen. This past Christmas, my girlfriend's sister bought me a vegan ramen cookbook, which on the surface of it was a great present.
I'm vegan.
Okay, so maybe this book was self-published. Maybe it's not printed in the highest quality. But hey, how bad can it be? Is the book AI generated? Let's have a look. I kid you not, one of the first recipes when I opened this book was this breakfast ramen bowl. Ignoring the fact that this recipe is bizarre, how can the first recipe not even be vegan? They would only ever give like 1 or 2 directions of how to make something, and they were so vague. All of the images used were probably made by Midjourney. This woman here has 6 fingers, great. And the pictures sometimes didn't even correlate to the recipes at all. Or they were just downright weird. Look at this seeded burger bun and tell me it's not AI generated. Of course, in this very scientific investigation, the only thing to do is to try the recipes. Okay. Recipe number 1, vegan pizza ramen. Unleash your creativity with vegan ramen pizza, ramen noodles as a pizza crust with your favourite toppings. Okay, there is a bit of a crust going. Damn, I'm kind of impressed. Oh, it's staying formed. It's not right. It's kind of like you think it's going to be pizza, but then this like texture of like worms. Recipe number 2, vegan ramen burger. Cook ramen noodles and allow them to cool. press them into bun shapes, and refrigerate. Assemble your vegan ramen burger with lettuce, tomato, onions, and condiments of your choice. Serve with ramen buns.
Fucking hell. There's something really deeply upsetting about this one. The plain noodles are not nice.
To be fair and scientific, I also made the vegan 15-minute ramen, which just consisted of an unspecified amount of veg stock, boiled mushrooms, and spinach.
No. It's so bad.
The recipes themselves were alien and flavourless bastardisations of meals I may or may not have consumed as a broke uni student. And I was left with just one question. Just who is Cynthia Lewis? Between May and December of 2023, Cynthia Lewis published 31 cookbooks to Amazon.
Her most popular book is a book entitled The Diabetes Cookbook, Healthy Recipes for Kids with Diabetes and Beginners. Now, if I am alleging that these books were written by AI, and if one of the first recipes in my vegan ramen cookbook was for ham and eggs, God knows what's in this one. Even ChatGPT itself says that we shouldn't be using it for medical advice. I did think about buying the book, but to be honest, I didn't want to give them any more money. So if you happen to have bought it, let me know in the comments below. Cynthia Lewis is a really common name. A search of Goodreads mixed her work in with the work of an academic, as well as a writer of erotic lesbian fiction. I also found a Cynthia Lewis that was writing a series of quack science books all about manifesting the gender of your baby before conception. Also, when you Google her name, George Foreman's ex-wife comes up. If we're assuming that this author is a pseudonym and doesn't actually exist, then having a load of search results for the name Cynthia Lewis might create a sense of brand trust and identity.
So there's at least a likelihood that Cynthia Lewis just doesn't exist. Despite these books coming up very high on Amazon's search, very few actually have reviews. One good review I did find was from an account that was also leaving good reviews on a number of very suspect colouring books. And when I returned to look the next day, both the account and the reviews were suspended. So just what exactly is going on here?
Well, you might have guessed it, but where there's a high concentration of people attempting a get-rich-quick scheme, there's probably a YouTube guru or 100 behind the scenes goading them on.
So today I'm about to show you how you can actually write an ebook in less than 24 hours, sell it on Amazon, and make thousands a month doing it.
If you're interested in making passive income, keep watching until the end.
Now we all know how this goes. Self-proclaimed expert makes a load of videos saying they'll teach you how to make your own millions from the techniques that they've used. They're most likely selling a course or just profiting off of the YouTube fame. And hey, I even found a tutorial for an AI cookbook where the font in Canva is the exact same used on my book. Is that laziness, or is that you, Cynthia? Now, you might be wondering whether there are laws or policies in place to stop this kind of content from being sold on Amazon. Can we even say that every piece of AI-generated content is a scam? And why the fuck do I still have this book?
Good evening, everybody. Welcome. Elon, thanks for being here.
Now, in the UK, for the uninitiated, our government have been very busy ensuring that we appear as a buccaneering free market tech hub to the rest of the world, especially in the face of our crumbling economy, than to make any attempt to legislate against these AI-generated problems.
The UK's answer is not to rush to regulate. We believe in innovation. It's a hallmark of the British economy.
You might be surprised to know that Amazon allows AI-generated content on its site.
I think you know what the problem is just as well as I do.
What are you talking about, Hal?
Whenever a KDP product is sold, Amazon takes a cut. Oh no, the mega corporation doesn't want to take an ethical stance on something when it's not being demanded to by a government, because it will harm their profits. Think of the profits.
AI programs like ChatGPT scrape content from real books and sort of regurgitate the information.
Successful authors are finding weird AI imitations of their work on Amazon, including one writer who found that his autobiography had been ripped off.
Can you even imagine spending years writing a book, only to go on Amazon to see people have generated a version of it that doesn't make any fucking sense, that might even be selling better than yours?
It's no wonder that authors like Margaret Atwood are speaking out about AI. Amazon now asks authors to disclose whether or not they've used AI to create their book, but the Authors Guild say that Amazon aren't even required to share this information with consumers, which is true because nowhere on Cynthia's page is AI even referred to. Surely Amazon should have to tell you if something is written by a computer.
And because they're collecting this data, we know that they know that they know about it. The only time that Amazon seems willing to step in is when content doesn't meet the quality customers expect. In fact, we managed to get our money back for the book, not because it was AI generated, but because it arrived slightly bent. And what's even more frustrating is that so often these books appear above legitimate books on Amazon's search results, especially when that book is low quality, misleading, and factually inaccurate.
Because our side hustlers are cramming these books with keywords,
which in this book's case essentially means cramming in the words vegan ramen, rich broths, chewy noodles, 100 plus plant-based ramen noodles and noodle recipes into basically every paragraph. 100 plus plant-based ramen and noodle dishes, chewy noodles included. I never want to hear the words vegan ramen ever again. The repetition of these keywords will, in theory, cause Amazon to recognise and categorise the book, making it appear as one of the first results you get when you search in vegan ramen cookbook, vegan ramen recipe, pretty much anything that they've put throughout the book. Like, it really is insane.
Most people loosely knew that Amazon was an unethical company, but it just keeps going.
This is without even mentioning that Amazon pushes its own products to the top of search results. So is it SEO, or is it Amazon that's pushing these spammy products?
So what can be done about this? A big problem with side hustle culture that errs on the edge of scam is that there are people actually buying these products that you might be misleading. I can't see how they're making profit apart from people buying it, realising it's a scam, and just not returning it.
Is this book shockingly bad? Yes. Did it look like it had some legitimacy on the website? Also yes. Its lack of functionality and use, to me at least, makes it a scam.
And you know what? This book was incredibly entertaining, so I can't even be that mad about it. But I can imagine you would be mad if you'd bought a Diabetes for Children book. And Amazon was full of other books recommending diets for medical conditions that did appear to be AI generated. I just don't think we should be trusting ChatGPT with medical advice. Is that so controversial? I guess it's just all fun and games until your child goes into a diabetic coma.